Alright, guys, we're live
Yes.
on YouTube, guys.
YouTube?
Yeah.
And Roblox.
Hmm?
And Roblox. That routing by Google, that's your Roblox. No, I mean, you see the children's there. Mommy is right there. That's it.
No, she not online. I have to set up your mic.
She has to come now. I want to see her really quickly before she leaves. Before she leaves me. Later, this flower on the ground. Look, jeez.
Alright, sit please. That concern your computer?
Huh?
Sit please. You don't leave that chair.
That's something like cotton paper. Many things. This should work, I think. Not properly on. I don't know. Not something to work. What else? No.
Click OK to everything that you're seeing there. Alright?
Me, sir?
No. We already showed you how to set that up yesterday, right?
Wow.
But just now I'm gonna open it and you're gonna be able to follow from my screen, right?
I'm not gonna put that. Yeah. When I finish my work, I am on the cool with blocks. Blocks. You can get it on Google. Yeah.
You did.
Well, how did you get it when there is no Roblox there? I do. Yeah, I don't want it. Who's reason? Is Ayush, man. Ayush is a boy. I still put my stuff on.
No, non-binary.
That is skill. This sticker so tangled, but I'm not seeing it as ugly. I think I'm going to tangle up myself. Where is two?
Alright. Is everybody seeing the letters on your screen?
Yeah. Well, I make a beautiful heart. Gotta wear this.
Agree. It's down a little bit. Okay, that's good.
I am not on that. I'm on crude blocks, I think. Crude blocks. It's a beautiful name.
I only have one. Alright, is everyone reading the letters on your screen properly?
Yeah. I'm on the screen. Oh, you did. Eh! Anything? No. You're so frozen. It's a lick. That's right. Hara. Look at this flower for you. There's gonna be plenty of plastic. I'm gonna make more. It's pretty fabulous.
Alright guys, so you all remember how we started out, right? Last session, right? Where you all appreciated HTML and we moved from there into Pascal, right? And we moved from there into C code. So I want you all, as we're making these transitions, I want you all to look at the subtle differences, all right? In terms of how does HTML give us control over the hardware versus how we have control over the hardware with the things that we did in Pascal. And are we moving to code blocks, which you see is a much bigger integrated development environment, capable of a lot more, right? A lot of the apps that you all maybe know and love on Windows most likely was developed in code blocks. All right. So there's a lot to the user interface in code blocks that we may never get to, because that in and of itself is a whole month long to do everything that is available here. So what we want to do, we want to focus on you all learning the syntax and you all learning to be able to use C code, right, in code blocks to be able to solve the same problem that we solve in Pascal, right? So I have it on the board here. You all could see it, right? So remember, in Pascal, right, we wrote a program to ask the user for certain information like the name, the age, right? And we did sum up, right? We found the sum, the product, right? The average. And we're going to be implementing same in C. You're going to see there's a lot more challenges because there's a lot more things that we have to define. So C code tends to be a little bit more technical, right? And you're going to be able to appreciate this, and then we're going to move on to C++.
Recording in progress.
C++. Well, C++ is a good one.
1 second.
Recording in progress.
My mommy is there.
Yeah.
Mommy?
Most of the parents will come.
Mommy, I want you. That's.
Alright, so everybody should have code blocks open on the system, right? So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna open code blocks. So I'm gonna open it on my side, and you're just gonna follow the instructions that I am going to be putting on the screen for you, right?
So, Kevin needs your help. Kevin, what you need to get on.
Alright guys, so you click the start option. Once you click the start option, you type code blocks and you're gonna see the app come up. Alright. So let's open code blocks. Everybody opened code blocks yesterday. That's the first thing we did before we even start class yesterday. So there should be no one who can open code blocks. Alright. Now we have to open the same project.
New project.
The same project that we had yesterday. Because that's what we're going to be continuing today. Alright. So when you open code blocks, you're going to be getting this screen. It's going to look like this. Alright.
I have that already.
Everybody's supposed to have this on their machine. Everybody's supposed to have this screen on their machine. Right? So if you go to file in the top right hand corner, you'll see where it says open. Right? And you could also navigate to recent files. Right? And you should be able to see under recent projects, you should be able to see what we did before. Right? So we did these three things.
So is this?
Yeah. So yeah, it would be the one on top. Right? So I believe I asked you all to name it camp. See what you all have. Yeah, see what you all have. Go to recent projects and you will be able to find. The project's here.
already on the project.
Huh?
You're already on the project.
You already on the project?
Yes.
Very good. Alright, so this is for everybody who was here yesterday. Not Ash. Yeah. So you want to open the cap. Alright. So guys, right, everybody should be able to open their old project, right? Just navigating to file and going into reset projects and be able to open the project here, right? Now, for the student who wasn't here yesterday evening when we did this, right? You would be going to file, new, and you want to go to project here, right? And then in this window, you want to select console and then click empty project, then you click go, right? So I'd ask everyone to call it the kids summer camp, right? And I ask everyone to call it the kids summer camp. I want to write out the entire thing, okay? Computer programming summer camp. I'm going to call this one 2023, right? All right, so you can see it's going to automatically populate. That is going to be in the downloads folder, all right? And you can see the name of it. We click next, right? Keep everything here exactly as it is and it's finished. All right, once you are done, then the next important thing is to click settings and go to compiler. Because when we install the program, we chose to install the program with the compiler. Under tool chain executables, right, you're going to click these three buttons and make sure you navigate to bin folder. You're going to see bin here. Double click on it. When it says bin on top, you click select folder here. Right? When you select the folder, it's going to say bin here. It's going to say C program files, code blocks, WinGW. This is instruction is not for you. This is for the one student who was here yesterday. Right? I'll be with you.
So after I click compiler settings, where do I go?
Yeah, tool chain executables.
And then
Right. You select these three dots here. And after you select the three dots, you're going to see bin folder. Bin. You see it? Bin is short for binaries. Alright? You're not seeing bin folder. Oh wow, that's screen number 3 today. Okay, it's a little challenging.
They can change for us.
No, baby. Go on, ask something. Sorry, close it door. Alright, you found the bin folder?
is it in devices?
Alright, so here, what you need to do is to click local disk C, then you scroll down to program files, then you're gonna see code blocks folder, and then you go to MingGW, which is the compiler, and then you will see bin. Right? You wanna select this folder. Click select folder. Right? After you click select folder, the project information will look like this. Code blocks, MingGW, bin. This is how the directory will look. Once you have that, you click OK at the bottom end of the screen here. Alright? You're now ready to start. So the next step is to click this add new file here and click empty file. Right? It says, do you want to add this new file to the active project? You want to click yes. Alright, so here's where we were saving all the information that we were typing before. So this was our first program in C code. Alright, I want to make sure I'm typing that properly. Right? It's supposed to look like that. First program, that's C. And then click save. You don't want to change the location. It asks me if you want to do both a debug and a release version. We click OK. Right? Just like that. So what we had typed yesterday, guys, right? So everybody should be on this screen now. What we had typed yesterday is just the normal include library, right? Include. I have to be looking back because I'm seeing different things on my screen. So include You know, something like that. You say right there, because the class have to move forward, right? I'll be with you when we reach somewhere, right? Because everything here that we did, you did about 2 times or 3 times. You can't find the file? All right, that's okay. So we have include standard IO library dot header. So that the H means header, is short for header, right? And we said that the main function is the body of the code. So everybody's just attempting to write. Yeah.
After include was it?
STDIO, right? So I'm gonna actually zoom on it so that you can see a little bit. That's what it says. STDIO. So it means standard IO header. That's what it means. So our main function looks like this. Main with the 2 open brackets, and then you have open and close curly brackets. The open and close curly brackets mark the region in which you're gonna put all the important statements, basically the body of the code.
I did this last week.
You did this last week, right? So the function must return a value. So if you want the function to return our integer value, then we allow that function to be integer type. So the main is now integer type, where it could return an integer value. All right. If we don't want it to return anything, instead of integer type, we could put void. But you are going to learn, right, how to appropriately set the data type for your main function. Right. So step by step, all we did yesterday was just a printf to write welcome to programming on the screen. Everybody's supposed to be seeing this, right? Welcome to programming in C code, right? So it should look something like that. Now remember, after every statement, we need a semicolon. Right? So after you do this, the next step is to hit this button that says build. To build the project, same thing as compiling. You'll see that the compiling is being done, right? We're going to have a log screen that's going to show us what is happening. And you can see it says 0 errors, right? 0 errors mean that it was successful, right? The you're bouncing the projector. Can you stay inside your right? 0 errors means it was successful. Now you could run the project now by clicking this. If you run the project, the console screen is going to come up, that black screen. You all remember that black screen from Pascal?
Yeah.
That's going to come up, and you're going to be able to see it says, welcome to programming in C.
So I can get it.
Alright, so that is where everybody's supposed to be. I'm coming around and I'm making sure that everybody's in.
I'm not getting it. Lower.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Right here.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get that one. No, I didn't get that. Okay. You get out, Kevin. Kevin. You okay? That's a my pleasure. I can see this. And then can you please come to run that? I said to myself,
Alright, coming around.
Kevin, stop! Jeez! Keep rotating them. I don't think so, Kevin. Shit, actually. Look under the table. I take it. You want it? Fine. Yes, give it. Here you go. I don't want to get me more. I'm gonna make some flowers for all friendships.
What did you do?
I don't know, so. Hold on. You have plenty of that. Hey. I never did this paper anymore. This paper is great. Okay, let me start. Let's make this antique. What does that mean? If you put an antique in one place of this disaster, you'll get all correct. Loneliness, I don't know what does that mean, and I hate everything about it. Okay, let me tell you. What? Okay, the mother actually did the same something. Okay.
Alright, very good. I can see that you're on your screen. Hey, what did I say? See in your chair. Pull up your legs, please. Go inside your chair. There you go. Stay right in.
There was
Alright,
blocks there.
See how you do.
Why do you put this by us? Yes. That is not mine. Yes. It is yours. But you do stuff in our feet. It is. Don't you think it's like one thing by our desk?
Wait, where's that chart? Antivirus. It's gonna put some stuff.
Hey, what come on here? I'm ready to do solo. I know.
You don't use this people.
Now you think by your desk.
I'm gonna make this.
By me.
Comment.
Yeah, she took it.
Okay.
It's a, I have it. I have it.
Can you ask them how to make that comment? Yeah. Wow.
It'll talk to me. What could you just sell extra hours?
Alright, so after you
It's not mine, stupid. It is. Do we?
you won't need that. Then you try
It's
that.
not mine.
Put it back.
I can take it away and it's all back. Yeah, then you cannot tell people what to do. No, I thought it. Huh? I'm not showing you any camera. Huh? I'm not seeing myself on the camera. I can see you on the camera. But you can see yourself, don't you see? I don't think my mom is even on. Sure. I don't see my mom. Tomorrow,
I did you already said like
I see. I see. When would I have to see me? If I. She can see you. Joe, I'm not seeing her. She's far away. She's tiny. Alright. I'm not felt it for that. Let's do that block. I can see. Huh? Because I see my nose. Will be seen. What happened? I can see it. Can you see my mommy? I can't see that. My mommy not there. Huh? My mommy is there. Yes, she is. She's there?
I see it.
My mommy is.
So it's white tape.
Let me see.
Nobody
Nobody see me?
You see this? You see this? Because it's good. Okay, see mine. But it's he still can't see you.
Nathan, do you see me? Nathan, do you see me? Yeah. Oh.
I see you for sure. For sure, I see you. For sure.
Kevin, stop his head already what?
It wasn't hard on me.
Is it? So who heard this?
Who heard it?
Yes.
Mama.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much flowers I have here? Count them and I'm going to take away 2.
5, 3,
3 now.
2, 3.
How much do I have? Count them up if I take away 3.
4, 6, 2,
If
5.
I take away 1, I might get.
This is easy math. This math is too easy. Yeah.
Good job, students. Next one.
I'm good.
Okay. If I have 2 blocks here, if I have 3 blocks here, I have 2 blocks here, and I take away 2 blocks. How much blocks I have? This class time, how much blocks I have? Students! Students! Wait, what happened? We have tomorrow.
This is too easy.
This is grade test. Open your books and write your name. I'm not gonna steal it again. Take out the books and write your name. I'm so tired.
We should go sleep.
Students. Students. Wake up. How much student do I have? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11,
I have an idea.
You teach us, so you have to tell us to wake up. I'm going to Good morning, students.
Alright, guys, so everybody on the screen, right? So now we're gonna get into the meat of the matter.
Good morning,
Okay.
students. We have some good tests today. Because I don't want nobody to ask me what I want to do by themselves. You have to ask for teacher permission, okay?
Alright, so I'm gonna close that screen, and this is what we're looking at, right? So remember, we had some prompts. So the prompts was to ask the user, right, for the name, the age.
Take out your black thing.
Guys, everybody gonna be following what we're doing. So you see what is inside here? We're deleting that, right? So this is we telling you, please enter your name. Yeah? And we could tell them to enter the full name, right? Full name. So
cannot
that's
write that.
shh. That, right, is the prompt. This is what the user is gonna see on the screen, right? They're gonna have the flexibility now to insert, all right? Enter the name, your full name. So to do that in C code, we gotta write scan F. That's what we have to write. So scan F, and we scanning for a specific format. So to do that, we have to type that percentage sign D, right? So that speaks to the format in which we are accepting the input. And we need a variable that we need to save the information in. So the variables we save in the information, and we're gonna call it A. So A is for the person's name, right? So to declare a variable, because now we have this variable called A, right? That we ain't declare yet. So A is gonna be what? It's gonna be holding the person's name.
So can you make the text bigger?
You can't see it from here? Not the text so big and you can't see it from here. Okay. Alright. Alright, so everybody's seeing the text now? Wait.
To see which thing.
Hello. Be quiet. Where you going? Right. Okay. Alright, so push those chairs in and walk behind me. Because you're disturbing my class, right? No. I don't want you to walk there at all. Go back the other way. Push all the chairs in here. Because you're going to mash something, then you're going to disconnect everything. So, yeah, push those chairs in the back and pass behind you. That's going to be safe.
I hate it.
I told you to stay in your chair, right? All right, so we need to declare a variable, and this variable has to be a string, right? Because now we need to save the name. All right. Now, in order for us to be able to accept strings, we need to include the string library. You ready? So we write that number sign, include, right? And inside here we call it string dot header, string dot each, right? So that's the library that we included, right? Now, these are headers, they're not necessarily libraries, but you guys gonna familiarize yourself with these terms as we move into C++, right? So here, we created a string A, basically, right? That's what we created, string. And we named the string A, okay? Now, this D here, right, is when we would normally be accepting a number, right? So we have many different formats that we accept, right? You're going to have to become familiar with the formats. So let's give you an example. Instead of writing a string, I'm going to write integer A, and we're going to ask the user to enter a number, because this is what we did in Pascal, right? Let's ask the user to enter a number. Right, we're going to build, right? Scan F. Okay. Yeah. Did I have it open? No, it was open. All right. All right, we're gonna rebuild. Just to show you guys, right? This D here, right? So I'm gonna run it now. It's gonna come up on my next screen. So you can see it says here, please enter a number. So I could enter the number 10, right? And the process will close. You all seeing that? Yeah? So what if I need that information to go down on a new line? To get that info to go down on a new line, we have to use this /n, right? So you all getting to learn how to get the cursor to move on a new line. So I'm gonna rebuild this. I'm gonna abort the previous process. I'm gonna rebuild this, right? And I'm gonna run it again. Right? The console come up on this screen. It's a little challenging going from screen to screen. Yeah, but it looks like this. And look, the cursor is now in a new line. You all seen it? So I'm entering the number in a new line instead of entering the number right beside the R. Yeah? You all see it? So that is how we get a new line. That's it. That's how we get a new line, by putting this, right? Now this D here is representing that we are accepting the integer in that specific format, right? What do you see? Right, so you have to press the build option. This thing here. After you press that, then you can press this. Right? So everybody should be seeing it, right? So this is how we accept.
I got it.
Right? The first number. How about the second number? So we're gonna create int B, int C, int sum. Because remember we had a sum before. Int product. We had a product before. Int difference. Remember we calculated the difference between the numbers, right? So we're gonna call it int difference, and we're gonna have the average. Now the average will have decimal points associated with it, right? So in C code we call that double, right? Basically we do floating point operations, so we can multiply the numbers and so on, right? So we're gonna call that AVG, right? Average. Yes. So those are the variables that we have. So basically the user can enter 3 numbers. Then we're going to find the sum, the product, the difference, and the average, right? So this is where the user enter the first number. Yeah. Now we're going to ask the user to enter a second number. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to copy everything here. Control C. Everybody do this. After we copy that, we click enter twice. We Control V. So we're going to change the information now. This is supposed to be the second number. Yeah. And we're going to store that in B instead of A. And we could repeat this process, Control V again, and this is going to be the third number, right? And we're going to save that in C. So we would have prompted the user to enter all 3 numbers and save them in their respective variables, A, B, and C. Those are the integers that we created before. Yeah? So guys, you all could take a look at this, right? Then the next step, I'm going to be zooming out as I go along, right? So that you can see more information on the same screen. I want to drop this dialog box here. See how much I can bring it up. Right, voila. It's down at the moment, right? So, so what I can hide. View, status bar, view, logs. Right, so I remove the logs, right? Everybody should be able to see more information on my screen, right? So we just accepted the 3 numbers, right? What we need to do now is to find the sum. So we have to do the arithmetic, right, in order to do these calculations. Everybody with me?
No.
Not me. No.
You can't mistake.
No.
So you're not seeing on this screen?
I can't see.
No.
You right there and you can't see? What can't you see? All right, I'll be with you because I need to make the rest of the class who's doing it. You see?
I was trying to copy this stuff, but I accidentally deleted some.
If you accidentally delete anything, press Control and Z. Guys, if you delete something, like for instance, if I accidentally delete this, to get it back, I press Control Z. Control Z means to undo the error that you just made. Alright? Alright, so now we're gonna do the math. We're gonna say, okay, the sum, right, is equal to A plus B plus C. That's what the sum is equal to. Everybody with me?
No, sir.
Everybody with me?
No, sir.
Right, so this is the line I'm reading. Sum is equal to A plus B plus C. Alright, so everybody try and write that. Okay? Alright, so the next step is to calculate the product. The product would be equal to what? A times B times C. That's what the product would be equal to. So notice the asterisk. The asterisk is above the 8. So to get the asterisk, you have to hold the shift button and press the 8 and then get the asterisk. Right? So that's how we calculate the product. And then how about the average? AVG, right, would be equal to what? We have the sum already stored, so that sum is being divided by 3. So let's see that? Sum divided by 3. So basically now we could tell the user, hey, this is the sum, this is the average, this is the product of the 3 numbers. You all remember that? Easy, right? So notice the subtle differences, right? We included the string library, but we didn't use it as yet. And that is if we save in strings, right? But I wanted to give you all an easy example with numbers first before we do strings, right? All right, so we here at sum is equal to a plus b plus c, and product, we add the product and so on, right? So once that math is done, we could then give the user this information. So to give the user the information, we write printf. Remember, the same printf means print function, right? And inside here, we're going to say the sum is, then we're going to write a colon, right? And we're going to put a space. Now, hear this, guys. This part is somewhat technical. All right? And we're just going to leave it like this so that you guys can appreciate this beforehand. So, we have the variable sum, right? So, if we do like this and put sum here, we can actually print the sum. But you know what? It's not going to work. I'm going to show you why it's not going to work. Right? So I'm going to put the colon, the semicolon, and I'm going to build it. Right? And look, it says it's building. And then I press the run button. And it launches on the other screen. So I'm just going to drag it across. Voila. It says enter a number. I'm going to enter 10. And we're going to, yeah. So look at what happens. Yeah? Process has terminated. Yeah? You all seen that?
So it's not like the red box.
Really supposed to be. Sorry?
It's not like the red box.
Red blocks? Yeah, in C. This is semicolon. Right, so let's do that again. I have to drag it from this side so that you guys can see it. Alright, so we enter 10. We're going to enter 10 again. We're going to enter 10 again. And look what happens. The sum is, and it's not present. It's missing. Right? To get the sum to show, right, we have to say what format. You see the same thing that we had here? That's what we need to put here. Yeah, like that. And look, it's gonna work now, right? So this is for you guys to appreciate those tags, all right? So that we can ensure we get a specific format being printed out. So let's try that again. So 10, 10, 10. And then look, the sum show up now. You see the sum was missing before? But it shows up now when we put the correct format in the print function. So the print function kind of search for this tag that tells it the format of the data so that it can be appropriately printed on the screen. So it's very important that you guys understand how these things behave. This is not going to be as easy as Pascal. When you just write the thing, you don't worry about no format and no kind of fancy, you know, percentage sign and so on, right? So this is what you guys have to focus on, right? So now we're seeing the 30 there, right? So it becomes eventful that we essentially could copy this information. We're going to type it again. So let's copy it. We're going to paste it 3 times. 1, 2, right? So it's 1, 2, 3. That's the 3 things we have. Sum, product, average, right? But remember, we actually had a difference before, but we ain't calculated the difference yet. So we're going to paste it 3 times. So that's the 3 times we paste it. Here we're going to calculate the difference. We're going to say the difference is equal to A minus B minus C. That's it. A minus B minus C. That's the difference that we're talking about. Yeah. A minus B minus C. So here, when we say the sum is, we're going to change this one to the product. So product. And we have to use the appropriate format. Right? So we have product. But remember, product is an integer, right? Product is an integer. We created product to be an integer. The only thing that is different is the average. So we're going to see how we're going to make the adjustment. So we have the average now. So we say the average is, right? And this would be AVG here. Now, average is a different data type. Average is what data type? It's double. You all seeing that? Average is a totally different data type. To display that data type, right, we need a different operator, different flag in the print function. And that would be LF. LF is the appropriate flag. Sorry, I put that in the wrong place. It's supposed to be here. Where we have average, LF. Right? So we need the percentage sign and we need the LF. So the last thing is the difference now. So we could say the difference is, and then difference is what? Integer. So we're using back the same percentage sign D as before. Yeah. Now, if note what is happening. All gonna come out on the same thing. This is not gonna be properly formatted. All right. So for everybody who is paying attention, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to write immediately after. We're gonna look at what's wrong with the formatting of the output. So we're gonna write 10, 10, 10. Right? Take a look at it, guys. Look at the format of the output. We say the sum is 30, the product is 1,000, the average is, yeah. So remember we were left in after before in Pascal, right? We have got the scientific notation where we have to move the decimal point. Now we're given it exactly as it is. There's no right exponential component. And then the difference is 30. So you see, everything is in the same line. So we have a problem with that. It's not properly formatted. All right? And it's going to be difficult to read and to communicate that to the user. So what we need to do is to come here and make a little insert. You all ready? The insert is the flag that the print function is looking for, so that print function knows to print in a separate line. Ready? So every time it does what it does, it sends the cursor to a different line. And you all saw a synopsis of that before, which is the fancy slash like that, which is right above the shift sign, the right shift sign, and you put N. So all these statements, we have to do that. All. Make sure it's inside the quotation marks, right? Not outside. So I deleted this one that is outside. Right? It should be inside the quotation marks. Inside at all times, right? Right. Voila. Now look how appropriately formatted this output is going to be now, because everything is going to be on a separate line. Everything is neat, yeah, and displayed to the user in a way that the user can immediately appreciate. Yeah. So 10, 10, 10, right? Check it out. Look at that. Everything is in a new line. You all see that? The sum, the product, the average, the difference. Right? So everybody should be here. I'm going to take that off of the screen and I'm going to come around. I'm going to assist everyone to make sure everyone is right where we're supposed to be. Right? All right, so for those who, okay, I'm going to have to show this piece, this component, right? So this is where we was telling the user to enter the numbers, we was doing the arithmetic, and he was, right, providing some kind of feedback. And so starting with you, you didn't type anything. Why? You're not following. What are you doing in class? Why is that? You don't know how to type? Come closer. You've been typing in class, right? A lot. See, so it's really bad that you tell us that you still don't know how to type. So backspace to delete everything that is there. Click backspace. Backspace delete. Okay. Stop.
Okay, so you can find my computer. That is like a triangle. This is that.
Right. So you're gonna write please PLE
Is that
EASE please space bar enter ENTER space bar CHE space bar first FIR RST. Very good. You can type, right? Right. So we can say right. We'll do come back.
okay?
You haven't done anything either.
I don't know. That's why I have to get off.
Alright, anyway. You're relocating from here, you're moving in from here. And you're going to stay in front of the rest of the usual like that. You're not going to move from here. Okay? Come, let's go. Then move that bottle. Pick up that water bottle on your head first. By your head. I don't want to run by your first. If I plug out, you come to switch off. You charge come on. Right. So we're gonna put you here. Right? You want to charge? You don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Alright. You come in here? Yeah. Alright. Oh, this here. Very good. We're gonna charge. Yeah, I get charged, right? So that we can be charged. And guys, you already can't see the board, right? Why is it all the way in the back? I think you have to get your eyes system. Right. Right. So, I'm checking on him. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we get friends, put it up.
Sir, can I use that?
Yeah. You finish, you get through. You compiling?
Yes.
Nice.
It works.
Kevin, you left your juice box. Left your juice. I saw.
So, just
Look at Kevin. Inside.
you finish, you compiling? Build one. Build one. No, not that one, the other one. No,
Kevin, you
yeah,
left your juice.
yeah, that's-
Juice.
Go ahead, until you close it. Very good.
And then, I see well, just say that because if the max is coming, because if you say that the max don't want, and you stay here all through. Oh, press the button 3 times. And then press the button. Just. Have some? No. Some. More. How many times? It's a more. This one. This was the right. And that was the other on the person. No, not 3 times. 2 times. 1, 2, 3. The person's having sorry.
Your system have a carrier. They can be on a carrier.
Sir. Isaiah. Wow, very silly. I can't make this. Good. Very silly. Rock.
Okay, you working on something, but I need to see that we're in plastic.
Yes. Sir.
All right. The second number. Please enter the second number. Right, you can type that for me. Huh? Okay. All right. So, guys, what we wanted to do, we wanted to do some comparison operations. Right? That's what we want to do. Some comparison operations because we did that in Pascal. We need to do it in C. Right? So you all learn the arithmetic, the how to accept input from the user, how to print on the screen. Right? Now we need to do some comparison operations. Right? So we were doing it before. What we want to do is to determine which of the numbers is large. Hmm? That's what we want to do. We want to be able to determine which of the numbers is larger. So here we need to be able to tell the user which of the number is the larger number, right? That the user would have entered, right? So here, after the user finish entering the numbers, right, we're gonna be saying if A is greater than B and A is also greater than C, and this would mean that A is definitely the largest number, right? So we have the open and close curly brackets. This is where we're going to put the statement to tell the user, right, using the printf function, that indeed the larger number is A, right?
So that is too big. Screen is too big.
Right, so the first number is the largest. Now we need this on a new line, right? Right, so remember we use the /n to get it on a new line like that. Now every statement n needs a semicolon, right? Now, just as how we wrote this for A, we could do it for B, and we could do it for C. So this is the for B instance. So what we want to do, we want to say, okay, if B is the one that is greater than A, and B also happens to be greater than C, right? And we have B here. If B also happens to be greater than these two numbers, so we say if B is greater than A and at the same time B is greater than C, right? Then we need to say that the second number is the largest, right? So right here we're gonna write second. The second number is the largest. Yeah, the second number is the largest. And we could copy this info. Now we're gonna do it for C now. We're saying if C is larger than A, and at the same time that same C happens to be larger than B, and that means that the third number is the largest, right? Third number is the largest. We also did a situation before where we sort of inform the user if the difference is going to be negative or positive, right? This is something that we did before. So this difference statement that we have down here, right? We want to put it on top. This is what we want to do. We want to put this on top here, right? Like that. That's what we do with our difference statement. Because now we want to tell the user something. After we calculate the difference, we could say if that difference, right? So I'm just going to go back to the bracket, to the open bracket. We're saying, well, if that difference, we do DIFF, right? If the difference is greater than or equal to 0, if the difference is greater than or equal to 0, so you put greater than and put equal sign, right? Then, right, inside here we're going to put our statements, our important statements. We're going to say print f, right? What we can be saying is that the difference is positive, right? That's it, right? You're saying that the difference of the three numbers is positive. Now, we need to wrap this in the appropriate quotation. And don't forget, new line. It needs to be printed in a new line. Yeah, because I need to move to a new line after the printf function does what it does here. All right, so this is going to be able to inform the user which is the largest number that he entered. And it's going to be able to tell him if to expect the difference to be positive or negative, right? So if you go ahead and rebuild that, right? Says I have an error here. Yeah, print f function. So the f is missing, right? So pay attention to that. Print f. Let's try that one more time. Right, so now we could run. Right, and it's on my other screen, so I'm gonna put it here so that you guys can see. Right? So for instance, if I enter 10, then I enter 5, then I enter 3. Right? The difference is gonna look like this. 10 minus 5 minus 3. So we're gonna have 2 as the result, right? So that tells us that the difference is gonna be positive. Yeah? So if we hit the enter sign, we expect to see that information. So the sum is 18, the product is 150, the average is 6, and the difference is.
Sir, this is correct.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with this?
Since the
Well,
first
A minus B minus C. What's wrong with the difference?
so
It's
enter
adding
the number
Right. Okay?
or the last
So-
number.
Huh?
First number for the second number. Hello? Yes. 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 Yes.
Hmm?
What does I and I mean?
Any?
What does I and I mean?
I-N-I? No, it's I-N-T. It means int. Int is short for integer. Right? So I'm going to redefine the difference here. Should be up on my screen. So it's 10, 5. It was 10, 5, and 3, right, guys? That's what we did. Alright, so you all where we at right now? Alright, so I'm gonna zoom out of it so that you all can get to type. Okay? And that's it. We are finished with your exposure to C code. Alright, where you want? Where you start?
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
no idea what's
I'm coming to see you just. Where you start?
you keep is it up?
When you had said that when you was adding more stuff on the print, like
Mhm.
the third number,
Mhm.
I stopped it because of that.
Alright.
Yes.
So you'd have had all this already, and this is the if statements that you need here. This is where you are. I want to zoom up onto that. Right? So this is where you are supposed to be typing.
Yeah, I need help.
Yeah, I'm gonna come and help.
I've been tuned to dog. It doesn't actually look here. It's okay. Yes, of course, I have more. I'm going to do something about Tuesday. Let's pretend. Just pretend to big action right here. Spiders last time was so calmly. Oh no, there's traffic outside. I don't want my man to get sick of this traffic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bye, Kevin. And have a good, wonderful day at home. So what's that on there?
Which one?
That thing. That.
Coming around just now, right?
No, I mean that great thing. That button.
What do you think? Listen, because you're confusing.
Just like some computer things. Hello. I should have played the chicken before. Sit there. I just said I will. That's not fair. How could you say that to me? Because you didn't even do it today. Yes, there was somebody on the door. There's somebody by the door.
Yeah, it's not a student who's in this class.
It's Victoria. She's my friend. She's in, I don't know what class yet. She enlisted us class today. Hello, your sister. Oh, here's my daddy. Hi, Daddy. Hi. Too bad. Oh God, what's my phone? My phone.
Alright, so everybody finished typing. Just not trying to get this thing ready so I can move around and assist you.
Yes.
Oh gosh. I'm struggling. Struggling with this thing. Yeah. You know it has a flash, right? Ayush? A flash, right?
Yeah,
Very good.
I'm using a
You're using your flash drive right now? Flash drive.
flash drive. What's that?
Thumb drive. Pen drive. Thumb drive. Flash drive.
Reading my memory?
Yeah, the little. Oh, she has one. You have a flash drive, right? I recall it being in your computer. I recall your computer. Okay.
Nothing at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have it.
Oh,
Step by step.
that's why you.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, this is good. How much was it?
Hi, man. Easy for you. This is my favorite subject.
All right. So anybody who didn't get through this, right? I'm gonna give you the code. And here's the class, right? right? For anybody who didn't get you, didn't finish typing and stuff, right? Because we're gonna be doing C code now, right? JavaScript and Python, right? But very simple things we're gonna be doing so that you guys can appreciate those things, right? So all this is what you all need to be writing, right?
Sir,
Yeah.
I didn't reach that yet.
You didn't reach this as yet?
No.
That's okay. Trying to get this thing to work so I can bring it for you. But whatever, try as I may. I don't know what's going on.
This is too cold. Yeah. It's so cold, Kevin. Yeah. And my arm feeling cold. Wow. My leg too.
So, can't you this for the right?
Once you compile it, it means you did it right. Compile it
So
and
you
try.
put it on hot enough.
You keep saying welcome to
Yeah, it's on
program.
contact. That's about room temperature.
It's
Saying
not,
welcome to
it's
program,
not
but the
off.
number thing not showing.
It's like
You keep saying welcome to program.
Mhm.
Not showing the thing not showing.
Hey, you focus on your work because you can't be teaching nobody nothing. Right, so you have an error. Right, so yes, missing. Yeah, so all these are the big conditions. So you have to pay attention to the board, guys, because it's right before you and you tend to still make mistakes. Yeah. Hmm? Yeah, look inside. If you so let's go to the screen. Hey, go have one name. Wait, you was using it all the time without you trying to plug it?
No, just let me show you. I just.
So the charger supposed to be plugged in. Where's the head of the charger?
Oh,
Right, so you're gonna have to recover your system. Right, so try as I may go. You see it? Yeah, that's something. You'll see that you have that issue in C++. So you may just have that. When you transition to C++, you will see you have that. That's it.
Sir, this one is good, but no.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Eventually, they just give me some lunch to eat.
Huh?
Eventually, just give me my hot dog to eat for school.
In lunch, so you give me a hot dog.
Yes.
All right, everyone. My thing is stuck there, right? But don't worry. For who didn't finish writing this, that's okay. Is I'm gonna go around with a flash. I'm gonna give it to you, right?
So I don't finish
You're gonna have access to all of that.
I'm tired to
All right. So that was just writing your first program in C code, right? Now, how about JavaScript? Yeah, because you can write your first program in JavaScript. What we do, we embed a canvas inside of your HTML page. All right. You can set the dimensions of that canvas. Okay. And then we can use the different geometries available to us, right, in order to draw whatever we want to draw on the screen. Yeah. Cool. No.
This is to put, I don't bring my jacket today.
You are furthest away from the AC.
No, I'm not.
You are furthest away from the AC, literally.
When I was there with Kevin, I used to get food. That's why.
All right. So guys, what we're gonna do, right? I'm gonna show you all, right, how we're gonna set up the web page, because you all remember the basic structure of a web page, and then we're gonna embed a script, okay, where we have access to JavaScript in the languages version of it, right? We can set the size of the canvas and the rate at which it's gonna change, right? And then we could just use, right, all different functions we have available to us in JavaScript to draw whatever we want to draw on the screen, right? So I'm going to be showing you all that, and as I'm doing it in real time, right, you all going to be attempting it with me as I write, okay?
Sir,
What do you
when
want?
can I work in charge?
Yeah, plug it right.
Yeah, the Maxi is here.
Hey, shh. Try and do something on the computer, okay?
I didn't finish
So it's not
mine.
coming.
Okay, I don't want to disturb the other students.
It's not coming.
I can't finish mine. I didn't finish mine yet. I do only one. I don't want to do plenty because I don't want to do my laptop plenty because I can
Is it close?
use
That's why you're coming on. He's stressing out. What's going on? That's not nice. That's all. Hold on. Yeah, look, there's actually there's actually a label slot. To plug it in. Right, okay. Yes, so it is. Very good. Yeah. Try it. Just press it. Don't hold it. Just-
Look at this. I did all of it because we didn't get it. But you need to clean it up too. Look at the difference to Make a mess. I did not. It flew away far away. So
And now you needed food.
Yeah.
You needed fire.
All right, guys. So this is a different flavor, right, than what you all are accustomed to. So if you all remember, we did an HTML page, okay? Everybody should remember when we did that HTML page, right? Hello. Turn around, please. Look at your computer. Everybody should open a notepad now. Everybody supposed to know how to open a notepad. Right? We're gonna open a notepad. Everybody's supposed to know how to do this, right? So right click, And you could use on any part of the screen, and you'll see new file, and you'll see note file. Or you click the start button and then type notepad, and you'll see the notepad come up.
I don't see that anywhere.
Everybody's supposed to know how to do that. And there's no person who shouldn't be able to do this. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to show you all. Turn your computer back around. Turn it around. Yeah. Start. Notepad. Stop moving. That's it. Right? You've opened Notepad quite a few times. Right? Since you've been in the tab. Okay? All right. So everybody should have a notepad open. Okay? You all should recall the basic structure of an HTML. All right? So I'm going to show you what I mean. You all ready? So the code blocks that we have on the screen here, I'm going to drop it, pull it down, and I'm going to move across for you all now a notepad. Where is it? Okay, it just came up, right? I'm moving it across here. So you guys should be able to see it. Yeah? So you all remember the basic structure of an HTML page. Alright, so all this information we have here, you can remove that. So remember the first thing is the doc type, which is HTML. Shh. Zip it. Right? So we have the doc type HTML tag. You guys would have been familiar with that. Right? You guys also familiar with the head tag. This is where we put like the title and so on. Right? And then body, right? You can see the only thing we have in the body of the web page is just this P tag, which is center aligned. Alright? And it says this draws the canvas on the web page. Right? So we are putting the canvas inside of this P tag that we have center aligned here. And we give it an ID. It's called my canvas. So we could use this ID now. Okay? Like it says canvas tag. This is where we open the canvas tag and it has an ID, my canvas. And that's where we close the canvas tag. So this canvas tag is embedded inside of this P tag. P means paragraph. And we know we put it in the center of the screen. Alright? So all this here now is just like comments to explain to us what's happening with the script for the code. So you can see it's taken from Khan Academy, right? Is there anyone here who knows about Khan Academy?
Yes.
Very good. So all this here is irrelevant. We could remove it. Yeah. So this here now becomes the source of the script. So we open a script tag. This is where the script tag open, and it's the source. Source is where we could find, right, the binaries so that the code could run natively in our browser, right? And this is where we close the script tab. Yeah. So all we did there is just put a source. Then we could write script now, right? So you can see we basically start like a sketchboard, which is the canvas itself. And we set the size of the canvas 400 by 400, and we set the frame rate, how fast it's going to change, right? 30 is a good standard. Games, right? Like console games, they kind of target like 60 frames per second. Yeah, these console games that they sort of set that benchmark for themselves. So 30 is really good, all right? Because like movies on a regular you're watching would be like 30 frames per second. Yeah. But like games will go as far as trying to get 60 frames per second. All right. Program code goes here, as you can see. So you can see we have a fill. This is a fill function. We could choose the coordinates on the screen where we want to fill and the properties of that fill, like the mark and so on. We could use the ellipse. We could set the stroke. We could set the weight as well. And we could use this geometry code, which is called an arc. Right? Again, we could give it a color. And likewise, you can use the ellipse. And each of these numbers here means some property of the ellipse. And you're going to be seeing that. So here we have a comment that it says here again, the canvas using JS. Canvas, you can see it's using the ID that was created before, right? And the ID right here. Okay. So for you all to type, this is going to take a little while. All right. So I'm going to show you all how to appreciate this. So here we're going to save as. You all ready? And we're going to put it on desktop as smiley face. And obviously smiley face.html, right? So you want all types. So we can actually put the .html if we wish. Yeah? .html. Like that. Yeah? You're gonna save it. Now nobody has this because it's gonna be on my desktop. Alright, what I'm gonna be doing is opening it up now, and we're gonna be changing the behavior of it as we go along. Right? So that you all can see. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I just found it on my desktop. And I'm opening it up now. Right? I'm gonna hide this. So this is what it looks like, guys. Y'all take a look at it. A smiley face, right? Now we're gonna put it side and side with what we are writing here. So you can see if I remove all this information, right? And I save this and I reload, all that remains is just the canvas. Check it out. Just the canvas alone. You see it? Yeah? Just the canvas alone. So we now are learning to appreciate, right, what each geometry, what function we have in JavaScript, and how we could begin to draw these structures, right? And we could even begin to write our own games, because this is the code which is responsible for producing the graphic that you see on the screen. All right, guys. So the first thing is the fill. So let me navigate, right, to where it says program code goes here, right, and we're gonna put the fill right here. Okay. So check this out. Let's see what the fill does. So fill, right? That's how the function looks, and we put the numbers on the inside. So the fill is RGB. RGB. You all know that, right? So how do we get yellow? What colors we mix to get yellow? Very good. So we put maximum in the red position, maximum in the green position, but we don't want any blue component. So that fill now sets, right, the ellipse that we're going to draw, which is the face, right, of that smiley, that face. We're going to be filling it with yellow. Yeah? So that this code is saying, okay, whatever geometry we write down here is going to fill it with yellow color, right? So let's try that now. So the ellipse is what we need to use to draw the outlier of the face. You all seeing that? So you're going to be doing this face. I'm going to bring it around and you're going to type the code and manipulate the face, right? You ready? So we're using the ellipse. And the ellipse has various properties, right? It talks about in this 400 by 400. So we have 400 in this dimension, 400 pixels in that dimension, 400 pixels in this dimension. So where would be the center of the screen? The center will be 400 across, 400 up. So it's 400 here, 400 here. So halfway is 200, right? Yeah? Halfway is 200. So we're using 200 in this dimension, 200 in this dimension. And that 200 coordinates would be the center. Look how we're going to use that center to produce the smiley face. So we're saying we want the center in the first axis, and we want the center in the second axis. That's what that 200 means. So it's half this width and then half the height. And see we can behind that piece of thing. Right? That tells us where the position of the center of that smiley face is going to be. So the center of the smiley face is going to be right in the center here. Right? You all recall how we get that, right? We find half comes straight down and then half goes straight across. And with 2 lines intersect, it's 200. Yeah? Alright, let's talk about like other qualities of the ellipse now. Remember, we have to begin to draw that shape. Yeah? We have to begin to draw the shape now. So there's other important parameters about that shape that we're gonna fill in and we're gonna change. So I'm gonna put 100 and 0 and then pi. Pi is short for pixels. So that information is saying we're gonna fill this geometry that we just created here with yellow. Ready? Save. Let's reload. Bam.
What?
Whoa.
I don't like that.
You see that?
No, I am not going to see that.
Now we can begin to change the weights on this side. So what if we set this to only 80? Let's see what happens. Let's see how this one, right? We're gonna save that information. We're gonna reload the page now. Take a look at what happens. See what happens? It squishes. See, it squish.
I hate that.
You're appreciating that?
No, I'm not.
So this parameter that we're looking at, right, is basically dictating if it's gonna look like this or it's gonna look like this. Yeah? But we're trying to find a halfway ground, right? So that it truly represents a smiley face. All right? So this one is too squished in. And if, let's say, for instance, we set it to 250, right? Let's look at how that's going to change the behavior of this shape, right? All right, so let's try that. Look at that. It gone out too much. You see it? So the higher the number, the higher this number, right, is the more elliptical it's going to spread in this dimension. So there's an axis. Along this axis, if we wanted to spread out along this axis, we increase that number. If we wanted to decrease along this axis, yeah, we decrease that number.
Yes, I did.
All right, guys. So you are beginning to appreciate what this number does, right? Right? It controls this axis. So if you want the ellipse to get longer in this axis, we increase that number. If you want it to get smaller in this axis, right? Bring it down, we decrease that number. So let's decrease it back to a reasonable position so that we get a smiley face that's gonna be more circular, right? The face is gonna be more circular. So let's decrease it because it's too much at the moment. So if we put it at 240, well, let's try 230 first, right? I'm gonna save that and I'm gonna reload now. Look what happens. Yeah? It kind of squishes a little bit. So let's do it even a little faster. Let's go down to 200. Save. Right? You see it's kind of coming in. You all see that? Right? So let's do 180. Right? So you're gonna see it's continuing to squish in. You see it's coming in. Yeah? So the ideal number that we want is about 150 or 160 above, right? So let's save that. Right? So you can see it more circular now. Yeah? The next one now says how we want it in this dimension. Yeah? So if you want to stretch out more in this dimension, that's the next number. So if we put the next number to 200 and save it, yeah? Look what happened. It's stretching out in this height now. You see it? Stretching out in this dimension. Right? So you can understand what these numbers do. So this number stretch it out in this dimension. This number stretch it out in this dimension. You see it? Geometry. Alright? So we're gonna find a kind of ideal position which we kind of established prior to now. Right? I believe we had set it to 100, right? Now this 0, look what happens. Interesting, guys. If I set this to 10, take a look at what happens if I set this to 10, right? You're all appreciating what's going on here. Look at that. That is, I set it to 10. Right? Let's set it to 50. Yeah? No, that's what the PI means in the corner there. Right? It's short for pixels. So ideally, we want this to be 0. Right? Give us sort of a smooth frame of reference. Yeah? So you all take a look at this smiley. It don't look so wonderful right now. Alright? We're gonna fill in the other important bits and pieces. Right? So here it is. We're gonna create a stroke, right? To set, right, the features inside of the face now. You all ready? Everybody ready to see?
No.
Right? Now we don't want to fill this with any color. So we're gonna write no fill because we don't want to fill it with any color. Right? Then we're gonna write now stroke. Stroke is just basically, writing, and that stroke is gonna have some properties, right? We're gonna set it up 0, 0, 0, like that. Then we're gonna cause the weight of the stroke to the thickness of the line. So we're gonna call that stroke weight, and the stroke weight, right? We're gonna set it up to 2. Right? We're gonna play around with this a bit. So let's save it and let's reload. Let's see what happens. Anyone see what happened here just now?
Hi, excuse me.
Yeah.
Isaiah,
Isaiah.
you don't have a field trip today?
Yeah.
Alright, you want to see his hand out. Anyone else have a field trip today? Okay, you want to see his hand. Alright.
Yeah, we finished at 12.
You guys finished at 12? Okay, you want to see gonna leave this one, alright? So I guess they have to you have to gonna leave this one, alright?
You must do it?
Yeah, it's already on there.
Alright, you all go ahead.
You have to leave my laptop here.
Mhm.
You have to leave
You
your
come back.
laptop. I cannot. I don't want nobody to take my laptop. I will just
Yeah,
go
good.
back. I'm not even bringing my bag because I'm not in my bag.
Alright, you're closing up behind, right? Alright, so what if we increase this number to 10? Yeah, that seems more feasible, right? Let's reload. You in your bag? Your bag is in your bag? Alright, so you all will see what's happening, right? We are setting the stroke to be black color. We're setting the weight of the stroke to be 10. Right? The thickness of the stroke to be 10. So anything else that we're going to be, any other geometry that we're going to be putting on the screen is going to have the properties that we define for the stroke here. So we write no geometry as it. So that's why we're not seeing any change. Right? So now we're going to use a geometry which is called the arc. So much like the ellipse, the arc has certain properties, right? Now we need to create the arc from the center of the screen. And the center of the screen is what position? 200, 200, right? 200, 200. That's the center of the screen. Right? We had used 150, 200, or 150, 100 before. I'm just going to do a quick set of these properties here, right? So that you guys can take a look at it. So ellipse. Right, let's remove all that. That's how simple we could define the ellipse there, right? 200. Let's make it as circular as possible. 200. Right, 200. So this ellipse is going to look really, really circular now, right? Yeah. So I'm going to save that. The asterisk just went. I'm going to reload. It's going to look more circular now. And this is the arc that I just drew. So the arc, which is here, this stroke is set to black. Remember, this is the RGB colors. So that's why this is black here. You see that? And additionally, if you take a look, the weight of the stroke, this is the thickness of it. So I'm going to decrease the thickness of it just a little bit. Let us decrease the thickness to about 5 instead of 10. Let's save that and let's reload. Look at what happens to the thickness of this smile now. See? The thickness decreases, you see it? Now we could change the color of the stroke to be any color we want. What if we want this smile to be red? Like a joker. Right? Yeah. So we are appreciating the tools that we need to create this. So we draw in any graphic on the screen. This is how we do it. Yeah. So you're just learning the different geometries and how to utilize the geometries. Now we're gonna need two more ellipses. One for the eye here and one for the eye here. That's all we need. Yeah? Ready? Now these ellipses have to be very small, right? So we're not gonna fill anything. Those eyes that we're putting, we're not gonna fill it. So we're just gonna write no fill for that geometry which is coming now. Or yeah, we could just write fill and state that we want the eyes to be 0, 0, 0. Right? Then the ellipse now, right? Much similar to the ones that we had on the one that we had on top. Right? It has 1, 2, 3, 4 properties. But first we have to define where's the middle of the screen. Yeah? So the middle of the screen is here, 200 or 200. But we need about 50 pixels in this direction. Yeah, and we need to minus 50 pixels to get to this point, and we need to add 50 pixels to get to this point. Knowing that 200 is the center. You're seeing that? So 200 minus 50 is what? 150? Very good. So we're going to use 150 for the first parameter here. Let's see. In this direction, we're going to add. So we're going to put 250. We're adding the 50. Right? You can see that. And 200 is the next center point. Right? Remember, this control what? Yeah, how stretch out it is in this dimension and how stretch out it is in this dimension. So we want it to be uniform. As stretch out as it is in this dimension, we want the same stretching in this dimension. So it's really circular, right? So we're going to make it small. Whatever we put there, we must put on the other side. Yeah? So that's it. We want to start from one center point. And we want to move across by 50 pixels. And we want that little circle to come in. And likewise, we're going to do on the other side now. We're going to start on the center point minus 50 so that we can get this circle, the eye to be here. So one eye will be here and one eye will be here. Right? So this is all geometry. You all understanding geometry by doing what we're doing on the board here. So we're going to save that. Anybody can tell me where the eye coming up? On the left. On the left. Voila. On the right. Why is it on the right? Because it's 250. Take a look at it. 250 means if we have the center position here, we add 50 to go to this direction. Yeah? So remember, this is the x, that is y. So the x goes across, the y is going. Right on like that. So we're staying on the y. So this is the y here. 200 on the y. We're keeping at the 200 on the y. See, we didn't change the 200 position. But on the x position, so the x position go across like this. Instead of using 200, 200 will represent the center. We're doing 250. See it? So we just shift out a little bit. So you can imagine, we're going to keep the same 200, but we're going to minus from the 250 now. From the 200, we're going to 150. You ready to do that? Yeah? So, we're going to put in the next eye, which is ellipse. Right? And we have 150 now instead, right? Because remember, the center point is 200. This center point is 200. So we start to move back in this direction. We're subtracting. So if we use 50 pixels in this direction, we want it to be uniform using 50 pixels in this direction, right? So we subtract 50 from 200, we get 150 now. And remember, we're using the same y position, right? Because we want it along this line. And that's the y-axis. So we want a constant 200 on the y-axis. Right? So we keep on the y-axis to be same 200. Yeah? You all seeing that? And the same size of the eye, we have to put again. So if you use 10 and 10 before, we have to use the same 10 and 10 now. Yeah? You all ready? So we're going to put that in now. Bam. Bam. So this fill is black. Yeah? 0 on all three. So that's why the eyes is black. You see that? What if you make the eyes red and the smile red? What changes do I need to make so that the eyes red and the smile is red?
So you have to change the RGB.
Right. So which line of code am I supposed to be interacting to get that done?
Fill 0, 0, 0.
Right. So which one is red?
The left one.
All right, very good. Right? Let's reload. So you see it's filled with red now. Yeah? And how about this? This smile. Stroke. Somebody have a question coming up. Voila. Now, stroke now is different from fill. So this stroke kind of render this fill null and void. If you notice. Yeah? The stroke here renders the fill null and void because the stroke would have been black before. Yeah? So if we go back to it, take a look at this. The strokes, the thickness of the stroke is 5. Yeah, and we was using this stroke to be black before. So let's make this stroke black again. The black region you're seeing inside the eyes was really because of the thickness of the stroke, you know. Check it out. You see this black region inside the eyes? It's because there was a certain thickness of the stroke. And that thickness of the stroke is the 5 that we set here. So if you want to reduce that thickness even further, we have to drop this down to about 2. Let's drop it to 2. And then let's come and reload here. Yeah, see it? More red now when we set. Because the line itself was defined to be black, and we defined the line to be thick. Right? So a thick line leaves a lot of black on the center. Yeah. But we want to remove that, right? And we want to make it right? A lot less more apart, right? So what about the smile now? I want to set back the smile now. Okay, right, what do we do? So that was with the stroke just now. We have a separate film for the arc that is being created, right? And then for all the ellipse. Yeah? So what we need to do is just to do, go back and change the stroke here to be red, right? So you just have to put it to be 255. And that's it. Now the smile is also red. Yeah? You're seeing that? You imagine you have command over this thing, JavaScript, all the geometries that you're not exposed to yet, and understand the axis, the y-axis and the x-axis, and be able to appropriately set all these functions. You could draw anything. And that's where the first generation games came about. Yes. Right? Someone took the time to code the ones and zeros to give us the tools to produce any geometry on the screen. And we could write a program that develops a graphic. We could do a snake game if we want. You don't think you can write the code to do a snake game with navigating through the maze? Huh?
Yeah.
There's some pretty interesting things to come. But now I want you all to type this. To have it on your system. You ready? So remember, what is important is, all right, so I want to remove some of the things here, right? Because needs be, we don't need the title at all inside the head. Yeah, can kind of remove that. That's what it looks like. And then this is the body tag. And we open and close the body tag. And I want to make sure that you all understand this. So this thing in the center here is not necessary. That's all. So this P is open and closed. This P tag here, we give it a center alignment because we wanted to insert the canvas in the center of the screen. That's all. That's what that is. Right? I'm going to delete this information and bring it up like that so that you guys can see. It's actually one line of code. There's no real difference, just one line of code. Look at that. One line of code. Then this script now looks rather technical because of how it is open and closed. If I zoom out of it just a little bit, you can actually see that it's one line. You see it? It's actually one line. Yeah? So that's all the code that we need to write. I'm going to delete this because that's unnecessary. I'll delete this as well. That is not necessary. So that's all the code up. So I've cleaned up all the unnecessary bits and pieces. Right? And you all could just do this file here. Yeah? Right? So you all think you all could type that? I'm gonna ask you all to
What was that?
change, make some changes to this smiley. Who think they could put
I
it on?
have to type in
Who
every
think they could
single,
put it on those?
I have to type in every single letter.
You gotta type this and this entire thing. Because this is the body from the from body here. We don't need the doc type if we finish, but from where it says HTML, all the way down. You have head, body, and the script and all that. So close the HTML tab, open HTML tab, close the HTML tab. So from here, all the way down is what we need to type. Because we don't necessarily need the doc type that we're seeing on top here. We could actually remove this. This is not necessary.
Which language is this in?
Huh?
Which language?
This is HTML. So HTML is the one with the tags. And JavaScript is only in the center here.
I'm on Notepad++, so that's
Yeah, even better. There's no
change the language.
So change it out to HTML. Yeah, because HTML is a framework that we can insert the JavaScript in the center. Right, so let me hit a little bigger for you guys to see. Is that better? Voila. Should be good, right? Alright, so you're all gonna do a little spin off of this. If we want this man to be blue, what do we? You want this smiley face to be blue, what do we?
Change the fill.
Right, change the fill here. What does this no fill do?
It doesn't fill.
Huh?
It doesn't fill.
Doesn't fill what?
The
It's a good idea. So let's remove it. Alright, it's gonna delete that. And let's see how it affects. How did it affect us? Right. So this fill is for this. And then setting up the stroke, color, and thickness is for the arc that follows. And then this fill, which is red, is for these two eyes. So you can see defining the properties, right, of that geometry comes on top. Right? And as soon as we have the geometry, right, then we need to make changes to that. Alright, so this fill is associated with this first geometry. And this stroke weight is associated with this arc here. Then this fill is associated with the two ellipses that we have on I know, always getting this translation thing. It's gonna get misunderstood. Any bright person think they can put two smiley faces on the screen, one on this side and one on that side? Huh? You're gonna have to do some math there because you're gonna say, okay, all right, this half, this region here is for one face, and this region is for our next face. You're gonna divide here in two, right? With one face here, one face here. So, right, you can imagine that here now, starting from 200, right? So 300 will be the new center. So all you have to do is to update all these things. So 300. 200, 300 instead of 200, 200. That's all. It's a simple math. And we have the appropriate measurements from the canvas to know where to position this value. What about making this mouth open and say hi and close? How about that? You're gonna learn to do that. Yeah.
This isn't how people draw geometry nowadays.
No. For the very complex games that we have today, they're not designed in
Yeah, they use
JavaScript.
Photoshop, right?
No, they use what is called engines, like the Unreal Engine. You know, see
For
when
2D games, they use Photoshop to draw.
yes,
Right.
it's possible to use Photoshop. So, yeah, and you could do three-dimensional games here as well. There's gonna be a lot more coding, so there'll be a lot more challenges. We're gonna do three-dimensional objects. Okay. So you all need this framework for yourself, and you see here, we're gonna be writing the JavaScript to do all the amazing things that we're gonna do. The actual games that we're gonna do. These 2D games, right? Yeah. Unity is the next engine which is used for developing of like Android apps, right? Right. So as soon as you all finish writing this, you are dismissed, and your challenge is two smileys. You want to put one above, one below, no problem. You want to put one to the left, one to the right, no problem. That's the challenge. Right? Basically, you're copying and pasting this. You copy. Basically, I'm giving you a hint. You copy all this here. You put a line below, and you paste it again. And all you have to do now is to figure out is both of them is going to be occupying the same space, right? How to make one smaller, or to make both of them smaller, so they fit side on side like this, or they fit side on side like this. Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is to get this small. This right now is too large. You see that 200, that we use for the center here.
Why is the frame rate 30?
Yeah, because that we already setting up the canvas for movement. Remember I talking about moving the mouth and then you don't see something, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's just a justification for what is to come next, right? Today's Tuesday.
It is?
Yeah, why is there a feature on Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, I had provision for Thursdays and Fridays, and this is just making things out of the chart. Right, I'm gonna zoom into it one more time, right? So be a little closer for you guys to see properly. Let's try that. Voila. Should be a little easier for you to see.